Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Thursday. Really quick, we're just going to cover a couple stories. Cleanspark is possibly going to be at 20 exahash next year. We'll talk about that. Bitcoin is going to be filling in the gaps a little bit right now. We're seeing a big drop in it right now, so we're going to talk about that as well. And then Kraken Exchange is going to start using Lightning Network, which we'll talk about that, some of the benefits of it as well. But as always, not financial advice. You guys know the drill here. I own the following companies and coins for full disclosure. And let's take a look at the market right now. This is midday right now. Not that one. I wanted this one. There we go. So any right now, it is about, 12:58, around 1 o'clock or so. I'm doing this on my lunch break really quick. So they're down a little bit. They're at down 4.1% to $2.10. Argo is actually up a little bit, 0.74% to 95 cents. Bitfarms is down 5% to $3.80. Cleanspark is actually down a little bit right now. It was up a little bit, but it's down 0.08 to $12.44. Cores is down 1.19% to $8.31. Digihost is down 7.88%, down to $3.39. DMG is down 1.9% to 56 cents. Hive is down 3.39% to $2.13. Hut 8 is down 3.8% to $5.58. Iris is actually up again today, another 0.53% to $15.99. So it's having a pretty good run here. Luxxfolio is down 0.93% to 28 cents. Marathon is down 3.55% to $28.49. Mawson is down 5.24%. 5.42% to $5.06, and then Riot is down 2.02% to $21.60. You can see here Riot has been kind of trading sideways here, heading down a little bit. Let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. So yesterday we spoke about Bitcoin a little bit, and kind of what I was seeing in the chart here. And like I said yesterday, that the more times we touch our support, which was right around 47,000, the likelihood increases of us possibly going down. But we would have to obviously, if that happens, and it did. So we touched it plenty of times here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We kept on battling with that support, and finally today in the last 4 hours, have been going down on it, and that could be coinciding with the gap that we got to fill. We'll talk about that here in a little bit in one of the stories. But right now, on the on the RSI, we're looking really good, oversold in the 1 hour chart. If we look at the 4 hour chart, where the RSI is right now, we're at 37, 36 or so right now on the RSI chart. Last time we were around this range, we were back here on, March 13th, and we were at a price of 38,000. So we're about $7,000 ahead of where we are now with the RSI, which is a good sign. This obviously provides us the room to run more up. So this is, I think, a good, healthy pullback here. We've obviously had a nice rally here. If we look at it really quick from the low here all the way up to the high, we were up 27% basically in, 14 days and 2 weeks. So that's a pretty good gain there. We need a little pullback here, kind of, refresh things and start over. Ethereum is doing the same thing. It is down obviously in the last 2 hours, or in the last 8 hours. If you look at the 1 hour chart here, you can see that we're down in the last couple hours here, which is fine. RSI is down too, which obviously gives us more room to run. If we look at the 4 hour chart as well, last time we were at this range was back here. We were much lower. We have obviously gone way up. So this is all good, I think. This is going to set us up nicely for another potential run up higher going forward. We were looking a little bit exhausted here, obviously, in the last couple of days. As you can see on the chart, we were way overbought. So now we just need to fall back down a little bit, take a breather, and go back up. All right, so let's take a look at Cleanspark here. So Cleanspark is going to expanding their mining operations in Texas with up to 500 megawatts of renewable power. This is really big news for them, and I'm really excited about it. Obviously, I'm an investor in Cleanspark, so, just so you're aware of that. But this is exciting news. It is going to take a little while for it, so let's get into the news here. So today, Cleanspark announced that it has signed an agreement with Houston-based Lancium to secure an initial 200 megawatts at Lancium's renewable power data centers in West Texas, with an option to add 300 megawatts more in the future. It is expected that approximately 50 megawatts of the purchase capacity will be operational by December 31st, 2022. So this is this year, so within the next 9 months. So they're not going to be increasing capacity or adding miners until that time. while the remaining 150 megawatts will be fully operational during spring of 2023, so we're basically a year away. After completely using this capacity, the latest generation of Bitcoin mining machines, Cleanspark will add an estimated 16 exahash to its current forecasted hash rate of 4 exahash. So they're going to be right around 20 exahash, which is going to be really close to where Mara is. Mara is supposed to be at 23.3 by the end of the year and sometime early Q1 of 2023. So that'll put them in line with Mara. Obviously, they're not going to be about half of what Core Scientific is saying. They're going to be at 40 exahash, but that's a mixture of self-hosting and hosting. So self-mining and hosting. So it's strengthening its position as one of the top Bitcoin miners in North America, which is good. And then we got some obviously information here on Lancium. I'm not going to get into them too much, but this is obviously a good thing. So as of February 28th, Cleanspark has over 22,000 Bitcoin mining machines in operation, with over 20,000 Bitcoin S19 series rigs pending delivery and deployment in batches going through October 2022. So we still have a long ways to get miners getting installed, and quite a bit of them. So this is good. Good news. This is the stuff we want to see. We want to see growth, obviously. So I'm very excited about this. This is fantastic. All right. Next is Bitcoin suddenly dives to 46 as attention focuses on large CME Futures Gap. So this is, we looked at the chart of Bitcoin here previously. I said, our support line was being tested. If it fails it's going to fall down, which it did. So here's possibly why. So there are forces at work which could take BTC price action back to 44.5 in the short term, analysts revealed. So Bitcoin began to show fresh signs of an impending correction on March 31st as the BTC price action began to eat into last weekend's CME Futures Gap. And we'll see that Futures Gap here in a minute. So we can see the chart here right now. So up or down, CME Future Gap provided targets. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed BTC abruptly spiking down by 1,000 in minutes on Bitstamp after March 31st Wall Street open. The pair had ranged after failing to cement 48,000 as support earlier in the week, amid calls for the retest of lower levels as a necessary step after considerable gains, which we have 27% in the last 2 weeks. A look at the CME Futures chart showed that short-term price performance could have a downside target in the form of the gap left over from this past weekend. CME Futures added trading at around 44,650 on March 25th, only to open on March 28th at 46,725, so we'll have that gap. The resulting gap could very well get filled based on historical precedent, meaning that Bitcoin would be in for a further $2,000 dip. And then here's that gap that we have on the chart. This obviously, for the most part, usually gets filled one way or another, whether it's now or later, it's going to get filled for the most part if history continues on its path. Popular Twitter account CivEconomon nonetheless noted that a stealthy previously gap from last year between 52,000 and 54,000 also remained open, so we may be going obviously up to fill that gap. Gaps always get filled on the CME Bitcoin futures, he commented. So be prepared for a little bit more of a drop, possibly to fill in those gaps, and then we'll have a nice probably bull run afterwards. We've been over a little bit in the past couple of days, weeks, so this is good. I think this is fine. This is just a natural course of things to happen. And then lastly, we got the story on Kraken. So Kraken Exchange integrates Bitcoin Lightning networks. This is obviously good. We want to see adoption of Lightning. Lightning is fast. It's a lot less cheaper to use. And there's obviously some benefits into it, so we'll get into this right now. So Kraken customers can now instantly deposit and withdraw Bitcoin with nearly no fees through the Lightning network. So Kraken has integrated Bitcoin Lightning's network. Customers can now deposit and withdraw up to 0.1 BTC. So that's, what is that? Roughly $4,000 or so, $4,500 with instant and cheap Lightning payments. Kraken is now running an LND Lightning node. So here's some of the details. So here's a quote. Adoption is going to come from people who have fiat in their bank account and they need to get it into Bitcoin. Pierre Rochard, Bitcoin product manager at Kraken, told Bitcoin Magazine, Kraken is providing an excellent venue for them to do that. And then they can top up their mobile Lightning wallet and use it as a medium of exchange. That's clearly the next step in terms of Bitcoin's evolution. Adoption, getting it to be used as like a payment method. So Kraken joined the Lightning Network with its own Lightning node. The company said all of its clients can now use the new integration, which allows deposits and withdrawals of up to 0.1 BTC or 10 million Satoshis per transfer, Lightning is a lot more efficient than on-chain Bitcoin while also still relying on on-chain Bitcoin security. So it is really the best of both worlds, Rochard said. Lightning enables cheap and fast Bitcoin transactions by leveraging smart contracts to abstract small and frequent payments away from the Bitcoin network base layer. That abstraction occurs in the form of payment channels in which users lock up Bitcoin on-chain by creating a 2-of-2 multi-sig address, which they can then use to transfer funds to one another off-chain. Right? So if you don't know how Lightning works, there's plenty of articles you can read about it. It's pretty fascinating how they're doing this. While Lightning, you can send a payment off-chain that is much more energy efficient, not only because you're not adding the miner fees and thus the amount of electricity consumption by miners, but also because that payment only has to be stored and shared by 2 parties in that channel, Rochard said. Lightning hence scales the Bitcoin blockchain as a second layer and empowers BTC to be better used as a medium of exchange by establishing an overlay network of payment channels indirectly connected with each other that can theoretically perform millions of transactions per second. We know that Visa, MasterCard, they can do hundreds of thousands of transactions, something like that. This would obviously be on par with that, as Bitcoin is routed across channels from sender to recipient. Right? So these are all great things. We want to see continued adoption. Keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying it over and over. Adoption is what's going to drive, obviously, the price of Bitcoin for us, for long-term holders. And I'm a long-term holder on it. I'm going to be holding onto it for the next probably 5-10 years. We'll see how things go, unless there's massive inflation or something. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys thought of the news here. Obviously, Cleanspark, great for them. They're expanding, which is wonderful to see. We want to see that from the other miners as well. A lot of the miners are kind of below that 5 exahash mark for this year. I'd like to see them get up above it. So this is obviously good news for Cleanspark. And then Bitcoin dip, we talked about it. It's probably going to happen, I'm guessing. So be mindful of that. And then after that, I think we may have another bull run going up to fill that gap where we had it at 52, 54,000. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.